Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of ITK English Department to our online discussion forum on the subject global citizenship and what it means, its implications for the young Turkish people. My name is Seda Vurgun. I'm an ITK English teacher, and I'm going to be moderating this event today. We are extremely happy to be able to make this event come true as part of 19th of May commemoration of Atatürk Youth and Sports Week activities. And I'm really excited to hear what our participants will have to say on the topic. So without further ado, let's meet our speakers. From the 9th grade, Batuhan Bestel and Beril Akmandor from the İTK campus, Duygu Ünal from Çiğli campus, Rana Tan from Bornova campus, Belce Özer and Sude Nazotan from Manisa campus. From the 10th grade, Altan Ata and Ilgün Özmen from İTK campus, Bahar Dumlu from Manisa campus, and from the 11th grade, Batu Orhun Gündüz from İTK campus, Duru Türker, Ece Sılakaya from Marmaris campus, and Sude İlhan, Sevinç Ali Gül from Çiğli campus. Thank you everyone for joining us today. According to one definition, a global citizen is someone who is aware of and who understands the wider world and their place in it. So we'll be taking this as our starting point, and our speakers today will be talking about a variety of topics, including cultural diversity, eliminating borders, adaptation to technology, lifestyles, environment, expectations from the government, from the education system and parents, the importance of global skills, and being an active and responsible member of the world as a community. So I'd like to open a discussion with Batuhan. Hello, Batuhan.
Hi.
So what is your take on global citizenship?
Can I take it again? Pardon me.
What is your view? What is your view on global citizenship?
From my point of view, being a global citizen means being a member of the world, because you get the chance to know every part of the world and you are at a better level as a citizen.
Mm-hmm. So can you talk about if you have any expectations from any parts of the community?
Well, I have some expectations from the state, because they have some responsibilities for us, because they pledge us some stuff. For example, health and to live in a place. They pledged us some stuff because they're kind of ruling us and helping us to get over with some stuff. And I have some expectations from them. One of them is idea spread, because when something is learned at a place, then it should be learned at everywhere, at a country. For example, I'm in Izmir, I learned something, and a citizen in East should learn this at the same time too, from my point of view. Like, this should be better, the idea spread. The state should create the opportunity for them to learn. The second point I want to talk about is the medical care I expect from the government, because like the state isn't just giving up, it's at a high level, so that there are even things called special hospitals, like you pay more money to take more care, and this is absolute nonsense. And to give an example, all the healthcare is free at Canada, but at some states this is not given to the people. At Canada, you don't pay any money and you get the healthcare you deserve. But at some states, this doesn't go at the same level. And what I want to talk about lastly is job opportunities, because government is not giving people the job opportunities they deserve, because they don't let them work, because even in this corona time, people are jobless and like they can't gain money and they don't have the opportunity to have a job. Most of the teachers don't have a job, and this is not okay. I expect the state to like give all the opportunities they can at a higher level, so that this place or every place can become a better place.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Batuhan. Thank you very much. So you have expectations from the government, obviously, as a citizen. And you talked about some opportunities the government is supposed to provide the young people with, right? So maybe this can take us to, you know, the opportunities in young people. This can take us to Duygu's point and Duygu's expectations from the education system, right, Duygu? Can you share?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So from my point of view, every country is following a different path for education. And I think our number one problem about the education system is that we're changing our exam systems like repeatedly without giving any breaks. I mean, think about it. Approximately in every 3 or 4 years, we're changing our exam systems. And I think most of the students are having difficulties while adapting themselves to the new system, which sounds natural to be honest. Also, like whenever I talk to one of my peers, they're always advocating that due to the exaggerated homework, they don't have any time to solve questions which are appropriate to the new system. I mean, which are contributing to their commenting skills instead of testing their knowledge about this topic. And I totally agree with my peers. Also, they can't guess if the university system is going to change or not. Therefore, they're also worried about their futures. And I hope that our Minister of Education and our teachers will find a solution about this as soon as possible.
All right, thank you. So education system, of course, is vital to everyone, and especially to you as, you know, being students. So you mentioned testing students, or you said basically that we shouldn't have education system as an obstacle. We should actually have it as a facilitator, right? So Ilgin, do you have any solutions, or what are your expectations related to having a better education system for the future?
I think, like as Duygu said, they change it like every year. Like we try to keep up with it, but it's like actually so hard because it keeps changing, and they require like us, thousands of people, to keep up with them, which is actually hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I think other than like our grades or exams, like other than just numbers, they should focus on our talents, what we want. Like I think they should look for like what they want, but look for like what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
So like as I said, like accept our talents and like future and our interests. They look for everything,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's like shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. So from the perspective of a student, this makes a lot of sense. I'm sure to your friends as well, and to educators as we are. So Zeynep, Ilgin mentioned some personal talents and intelligences, and, you know, education system acknowledging these differences among students. So I guess your point is related to this, right? Different skills that we have to get prepared for the future.
Yes, we definitely need some skills in order to share the things that we believe it's true. Or like, let's give an example. Like, for example, I have an idea about something. It can be about anything. It can be about science. It can be about a project in my school. If I'm not able to talk about this project or idea of mine, no one can know anything about it. So it will just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
The ideas, the things that we thought about get bigger and bigger if we share them. Batuhan, I guess, mentioned about idea spread, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
And that's the main thing which I like to mention right now. We need to share our ideas. We need to make them known by as most people as possible, so that they also can add things to our opinions, to our ideas. They can get bigger and they can be more effective in order to change the world, in order to make our lives easier. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I'd like to say.
Yeah, of course. So you mentioned these different like changing skills we're supposed to have for the future. So thinking about education, preparing for the future, what's the next level? Jobs and career. Am I right? So this takes us to Berit's points, right?
Yes. I want to mention the opportunities, the chances, and what people want in general. Like, as Zainab said, we should share our ideas with people, and we should build a career for ourselves, what we want. We should get a job for that. And the jobs would be adaptive for what we want, what we have, and what can we be. For example, if you ask people what they want to be, if you ask children what they want to be in the future, they will say right now, we want to be YouTubers. I want to be a YouTuber or influencer or something about technology, today's trends. But if you ask the old generation's kids, they would answer you like, I want to be a doctor or an engineer or a teacher, like today's jobs, actually. And this is explaining what we change and what world gives us, and what the global changing affects our jobs.
Yeah. Just like in every field, we can sense the future coming in. It's, you know, changes.
Yes.
So changes, when we say changes, we can talk about it in more detail. So what about technology, lifestyles, and changing environments? Alta?
Here I want to talk about adaptation to those new things.
Yes.
The topic of adaptation has always been tough for mankind, because it can be anything. Like it can be a physical change, a social environmental change, just an environmental change, like going to a new place, starting to live in a new place. It can be about technology. Like, we are not good at keeping up with changes, because we all make ourselves a certain lifestyles, and we always try to like stick with it. The easiest example I can give is drinking water. Like, we can drink water in any ways, but if you go to any Muslim Arabic country, they have a tradition to drink water while sitting, or maybe dressing for women. Like, in an Arabic country, a woman without a hijab may seem weird to those people, and that woman may feel them like they might feel that they do not belong to that community. And that feeling may cause many health problems. Even they can cause health problems like anxiety, depression. So to sum up, we are not good at like keeping up with the changes. So yeah, that's my point.
But I think we should get better at it, right?
Yeah.
If you want to be.
Yeah, and if we can like melt those ices of like cultural diversity, I mean, for the culture topic, like if for example, if the Arabic community do not look to a woman who is not wearing hijab like a weird person and like unnormal person, these curtains between the groups of people start to fall apart one day.
Yeah, of course. We're going to talk about culture actually during our discussion. Thank you very much, Alta. So adaptation, you know, adaptation is the key maybe for the future to advancing technology and different lifestyle, even changing environments like Altan mentioned. And this actually, you know, the adaptation, I think, is taking place through the internet mostly. Am I right, Bahar?
Exactly. As a 15-year-old girl who belongs in the Generation Z, comparing to Generation Y, I can easily say that I live under better conditions. 21st century, as known as the technological age, provides us a lot of opportunities such as high standards of living or ease of communication and so much more. I can be aware of what's happening around the world, and it won't even take me 2 minutes to know what's going on. And since English is the global language right now in the world, many companies such as BBC, Deutsche Welle, or CNN make their news in English, which makes it easier for everyone to keep updated. And for the question, do I consider myself as a global citizen, I would like to give an example. Not because I speak multiple languages, but because of my online friend, Sangamitra, who is an Indian girl, and she lives in India. She does not speak any Turkish. I do not speak any Indian. And by the way, they have 22 different languages in India. So it's so hard for me to learn Indian. I've never seen her in person. We have never met. I have no idea under what conditions she lives in. Yet she's my best friend. She is the closest person to me on earth. I don't have to see her to understand what she is going through. I can feel her just by her text, if she's hopeless, if she's down, if she's concerned, because we both are humans. We both have emotions and we both have problems, similar problems. And I think this makes me a global citizen. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Very, very good example, a personal example from your own life to make everyone think about how borders are actually disappearing through the internet. And the world is getting smaller, right? I think we can all say that. So, Balce, as the world is getting smaller and turning into one community, what is our position?
First of all, I would like to mention something. As we all know that most of people around the world are afraid of talking about themselves, expressing themselves, and they're afraid of changing and keeping up with this century. So I want to say that we are living in a big community, actually a little community, and the hardest thing is to express ourselves, our studies, just like Zeynep said. To be a global citizen in this community means that if you can start to change little things in your life, and if you can affect people by your actions, it means that you're a global citizen. And for me, it is the most important thing, actually. I started to change lots of things in my life just to be a productive person for my planet, actually. And if I can affect other people, my friends, I would be the happiest person in the world, actually. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. That's great. So being a member of it and taking responsibility to change things, Bajan, you know, you made a wonderful point starting from yourself. I think Sude can take it from here, right? Get the world being a community and all of us being a member of it, right, Sude?
Yeah, and being a global citizenship, we need to take a lot of responsibilities. But as young people, we are afraid of taking responsibilities, being a global citizen, because, you know, fear of failure, uncertainty about the future. Also, the cliche question we've been asked many times over, what do you want to be when you grow up? These lead many of us to be concerned about the future. And to overcome this feeling of high responsibility and pressure, I believe that we should be raised as global citizens, because global citizenship is the idea that everyone is part of a worldwide community and everyone has responsibilities. Also, it shows the wonder of the world and that you have the power to bring a positive change. But unfortunately, I don't think that this issue has been handled seriously enough around the world. But unlike most of the students, I can say that I'm being raised as a global citizen because I have sensitive teachers and family. But that's not enough to say that I am a global citizen, as it comes with great responsibility. You know, a global citizen is aware of global issues, takes active role in a community, has broad perspective and advanced 21st century skills. So even though we have shortcomings, we are all candidates. So perhaps rather than asking what do you want to be, I think it's better to ask what change do you want to see and help create in the world. So I would suggest be the change you want to see in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Sudanas, would you agree? Do you have anything to add to Suda's point? Anything new or anything different?
Yes, I agree with them, and I want to add something. Global citizenship shows that when we come together, we can overcome almost anything, in short. And I want to give an example. We are in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, and the whole entire world is separate, but more together than ever because of our sense of unity and togetherness. I think this word is keywords at this point. And we are taking care of one another and looking out for each other. We have differences, however, we are acting as a united global community to safety and wellness of others. This is what being a global citizen means in short. Thank you.
Thank you. A relevant example, right? Coronavirus is a very relevant and very good example. Taking care of each other and feeling responsible for the health of one another. So social campaigns or social projects, maybe we need to also touch on these if we're talking about taking action, right, Aylin?
Yes, well, as you said in the very beginning, being a world citizen is knowing about what's happening all around the world and the events and the issues, and as Suda mentioned before, to take action for those issues who needs to be done something about. Well, I believe being a world citizen requires us to take action for the ones who needs help. I mean, the world needs our help right now. We should help the environment. We should help the people around ourselves. I mean, seriously, how many of us ever get involved in a social project or a campaign, like 1 or 2? It's so little, and it's so upsetting to know that, because this is not world expects from us, from the younger people. I mean, it's not just sitting at home watching news, seeing those puppies that they share on social media and getting upset about them because they got raped or they got they treated them very bad by monsters. It's not just feeling upset for a while and continuing our normal lives. We should do something about it. We should take an action. I mean, we should be the voice of those who can't speak for themselves. I think this is what makes us a citizen of the world.
Oh, wonderful. I loved it when you said the world needs us. Ladies and gentlemen, would you agree? It's a nice way to put it, like the world needs us, taking action and really caring for everyone. So Ejisla, I think your point is related to this one, like caring for one another and loving each and every person.
Exactly. Well, if we want to change the world in a good way, and if we want the world to be a better place, I think it's only possible with love. And when we start doing everything we do with love, then the world will eventually be a better place. We're all aware of love's miracle. And then we should also be aware of its power to change the world, to heal the world. Love heals and hate harms. So when we know this, we should start with ourselves. We have to start with loving each other and ourselves the way we are. We should love what we see when we look at the mirror. And after we love ourselves and after we accept ourselves the way we are with our faults, ups and downs, then we should start loving other people the way they are again. We should accept them. We cannot expect every single person to be just like us. So differences make us stronger. Instead of focusing on the differences and let differences separate us into groups, we should accept each other and we should love differences because we're all unique and so precious the way we are. Once we start loving ourselves
And then we will start loving the environment and the world and the nature, and we will start doing something good for our nature, like volunteering and saving energy, saving water, and these things will help our world to become better. If we want the power to heal the world, then we should first have love, and we should embrace every single human being in the world with love. That was all I wanted to say.
Great, thank you. So hearing these lovely ideas related to love, loving yourself, loving the planet, loving everyone, I think we need to talk about the family, right? Family is the place where we first learn about love, about loving yourself and others. So Radha is going to share her opinions about expectations from the family and parents.
I think it is important what to expect from our parents because they are the ones who teach us everything and get us ready for the world. I expect them to teach me the right and the wrong and to teach me valuable lessons so I can become a better person and do good things for the community. I just want my parents to help me to make the world a better place to live. And the most important thing I expect them to do is to support me no matter what. Even if I'm doing something wrong, it always makes me feel better to have their support. I think this is the best thing that a parent can give, unconditional support.
Unconditional support and love to prepare us for more love, to give more love for the future. So speaking of love in this sense, maybe it's only possible by believing in one fundamental principle and living by this fundamental principle, eliminating borders, getting rid of them so that we feel this sense of unity. And Batu is going to share his views on this.
Okay, so the elimination of borders before happening formally through governments kind of, I think, needs to happen on the social and cultural level. We, as an individual and as the group that we are a part of, need to break down our cultural stigmas and prejudices towards other cultures. Then we'll pressure the government elites to change the policies to unite the world into one piece. This happened, and this breaking of social stigmas and stereotypes only really happens through humane conversation and bonding, lasting relationships with people outside of the group that you're inside. And we're in such a great time that this is incredibly easy for us. On one hand, we have the internet, which provides instantaneous access to any parts of the world. And this is actually getting better. Starlink project by Elon Musk works to bring internet access to impoverished nations like Africa, which lack proper infrastructure. And we can also travel really easily around the world and see the cultures with our own eyes, which kind of has a different weight rather than using the internet. But unfortunately, in the times that we're in, we've kind of lost that aspect of cultural unification, and it isn't really clear when we'll get it back. So it puts more work on the internet, and it kind of brings us to some crucial elements of being on the internet and sharing our cultures and breaking stigmas is to be polite, most importantly, to the person that you're speaking with. If you're not polite, then they won't be able to accept the views that you are. And if you form a lasting relationship, a friendship with them, they're almost never going to feel any stereotypes towards the group that you're inside. And this is really important. And this kind of brings me to our topic of being a global citizen. And in my eyes, being a global citizen is just that, forming relationships with people outside of your group and then consequently bringing them together. If we do these correctly, be polite on the internet and help people break their prejudiced views towards other countries, we can eliminate far right-wing thought and tear down the arbitrary borders that we've set in the middle of human communities, which cause so much bloodshed and trouble to us. and finally reach our goal of becoming a human society.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. But that's what we need, right? This human society brings us to, again, acknowledging differences, embracing differences. And Drew, as our last speaker, what would you like to say?
I would like to say that since almost grade 1, the first thing that we learn in our geography-related lessons is how the nature shapes our daily life, what we wear, what we eat, the places that we live in, the daily chores that we do. And it's clear to say that the nature commands us to be different people, to have different cultures, and to have different personalities. And when the teacher asks us for examples, we also try to be as different as possible, as unique as possible, and we want to stand out. But as people grow older, some seem to think that these differences are a flaw. Now, I'm not going to be a cliche and talk about how bad this is or why this happens. And instead, I will talk about how we can overcome this situation. Now, I think it is simply possible by education. And it's not just saying embrace the differences. It is by giving the learner a vision, teaching empathy, and showing how beautiful and unique when we are together. Now, we all talked about talents and differences and all the other different things in this forum. Now, I will give a very simple example to clear this out. Let's imagine that we are a group of people trying to create a poster for anything. Now, one may be very good at cutting papers. One may be very good at cursive writing. One may be very good at sticking things and placing the papers. One very good at painting. We wouldn't be able to do this alone. But when we're together with these people that complete us, that are different than us, we make a better and more beautiful poster.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. All the speakers, all the participants for your wonderful, valuable contributions to our discussion. It's been a fruitful, great event, if you ask me. I hope you agree. So we're closing it now. As İzmir Özel Türk Koleji, we believe that one of the most significant and valued missions we have to accomplish is to raise and prepare young people equipped with crucial personal and global skills and a very strong educational background for an ever-changing world. As Mustafa Kemal Atatürk once said, "You are future's shining flowers, and my hope lies in youth." So as today once again proves, we have every reason to hope for a better world in a better future thanks to you. We're proud of you. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching us. Have a great day.